Please rise for the
metrics.
pledge
Thank
to the
you.
flag.
Yeah.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We need a motion to open up the town board meeting of October 9th.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
First agenda item. Sean Hoffman is here. It's a review and discuss the DEIS for IWS. Sean?
Good evening. So, you may recall at your July 24th meeting, you had reviewed the DEIS, and you had determined that it was inadequate for public review.
Incomplete.
Yes, sometimes called incomplete. The applicant went back, they submitted a revised DEIS on September 19th, and under the New York State statutes, you have 30 days to review that and make a determination of whether it's complete or not. You had asked for an extension because it came in right before your first meeting, your last meeting of last month, and they granted you an extension till Friday, the 24th of October. When you are reviewing a revised DIS for completeness, it's a little bit different. You're only basing the completeness on the comments that were there previously. So that would be, George, you had some written comments, the ERB had some written comments, I had some written comments. So everything on those written comments is the only idea what we're reviewing at this point right now. Right? So the purpose tonight is just to kind of give you some background on it and where it stands. I will be getting you a written report on it for your next meeting, and at that time you'll be taking action. I know I spoke to Neil before the meeting. I know the ERB reviewed it. I presume that they're going to get you any comments they may have in writing as well. So, at this time I don't really have anything further, unless there's any questions anybody on the board has. And of course, as you're reviewing the document, if you have any questions, you can ask me.
Right. Anybody have any questions on it?
So we can't determine whether it's complete or incomplete yet. You haven't.
Well, I presume you're going to want to have the benefit of my comments.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, just want to make sure that's.
Yeah, and I also sat in on the ERB meeting last night because I just wanted to understand if we were going to be
Right.
moving on it tonight.
Right.
And so there was a lot of feedback with respect to the DEIS that I think is going to be forthcoming, but it was discussed extensively last night by the ERB.
Okay, so then, as I told you before, Sean, I had a couple of things I just actually want to pass on to you.
Sure.
For your consideration as far as your review for us. So, there were a big number of zoning variances that were granted to them. And upon my review of this, it looks like, all of them were accepted. So I guess the question I had was, well, one, I was kind of surprised with all the variances that were given them, but they all seem to be in order. And is that the way you feel about it too, Sean, that all those variances are basically in order?
Will be honest, I do not recall all the variances. I know the planning board had reviewed this, and they had completed their review in February of 2024. So the last time I would have looked at those variances were about a year and a half ago. I will take a look at those, George, and I'll put together an email for you.
Okay. Next, I guess this is the biggest issue. And as I read this, we've had great talk about tipping fees. And on page 2-5 of this summary, it says here, additionally, IWS has made an agreement with the town of Goshen to pay the town 10 cents per ton of waste handled at the facility. The only thing I've ever heard over and over and over again is we're getting $1 a ton. So they say that we would generate revenue of approximately $20,000. And that is based on, well, I computed it 312 days because they're closed Sunday. And at $6.70 a day, that comes to $209,000, roughly $209,000, if it is $1 a ton. If it's 10 cents a ton, same arithmetic, it comes to $20,900. Big discrepancy. So, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but
No,
all I've heard is $1 a ton.
So,
Well, I need to get this, if you don't mind. Just
go ahead.
Understand, that refers to a tipping fee of 10 cents a ton on our host.
Maybe I
Host
misspoke,
fee.
it's the host fee.
Oh, it's not just the tipping fee.
Well, the host
No.
fee isn't even
We have-
clarification I need
Well,
then.
that's what I'm gonna
Is
talk
this,
about.
Yeah,
is this tipping fee or host
Well, I
fee?
have to talk from our attorney. We have a host fee where he gave us $200,000
Correct.
plus promised $1 a ton. And the 200 was not revocable in any way, shape, or form, even if the permit wasn't granted. That was the
Understand.
200,000.
It was a precedent or a preceding
Right,
condition.
and that would take effect when the permit is issued. So, we have this document.
Mhm.
Are they two documents that stand on their own?
They should be, that was a outside agreement that shouldn't affect the DEIS.
Right.
But that's a reactionary answer, I would give you a more complete answer.
Right.
But it should have been, it was a separate agreement to clear up a past agreement that was on site.
And going forward, a community host, that's the way I read it, is we had two separate issues. We have a tipping fee, which I thought was gonna be 5 cents, but it appears that maybe it's 10 cents for inspection purposes. That's not just a host community fee.
It
And the host
should be
fee-
separate and apart.
Yeah, is $1 a
Unless
ton, but
unless
that's
you-
what we have to make sure, George.
I think I can kind of answer this a little bit.
Now, go ahead. I'm
with
sorry.
The procedure,
Yeah.
right? So, and I know it's been a while since this board has been a lead agency on something like this, but what's gonna happen and where we are? You said there needs to be a DEIS, an environmental impact study, right? You prepare a scope, and that tells the applicant what needs to be in there. So right now, we're just making sure that what you said needs to be in there is in there, right? The next step would be for you, once it is determined to be complete, is for you to have a public hearing. And you're gonna get comment from the public, I would presume. More than likely, the applicant will either record the proceedings, or they'll have a stenographer here. And then they're gonna have to take all those comments, and they're gonna have to address all those comments in the FEIS. It's very similar to Legoland, if you remember.
Yeah.
So Legoland, there were hundreds of comments, and the applicant prepared a response to each one. If you have similar comments that have one common answer, you can group them together. But the fact that they may have a mistake in there, or there's something that needs additional information, that will be sorted out later in connection with the public hearing. Right now, you just wanna make sure that it's in there. So just by way of an example, let's say one of your scope requirements where they tell you where the project location is, and they inadvertently say 6.5 Station Road, it's on Hartley Road, so that's wrong. So they should fix that, because that's an easy thing to fix, but something like that would be sorted out more than likely during the public hearing, and then they would fix it as part of the FEIS. So if there's substantive comments, those are good to have now, but those will get sorted out later in the process.
That's the one issue. Once again, what you're referring to is, the other issue is our community host
Yeah.
agreement, which I saw as separate, but once again, we have to just defer to legal counsel to make sure.
Yeah, I'll get a firm answer on it,
Yeah.
but the way it was presented was it was clearing up a past agreement that had its flaws, and this was a way to bring us forward, but I
Right.
believe them to be separate and
Right.
apart, two different documents that just happen to be going on at the same time,
Right.
but I will confirm that.
Okay, yeah,
So
Do you have
then,
any comment? I know it's legal, but I mean,
Yeah.
so then,
sounds good.
yeah.
so I think what I hear you saying then is, this basically stands as part of the DEIS, but the separate agreement for the $1 a ton is a separate contract and will not be as part of.
I'm saying that. I'm saying that. I don't think Sean was saying that, although he
Okay.
may or may not
Yes.
agree with it, but I'd rather,
Yeah,
Okay.
and if it should be, then
Yeah.
we'll include it.
Yeah, and because, I guess it's because of the history of it.
Yeah.
You know, this goes back a long, long time, where I feel we were screwed by the applicant, not these people, the past people. And personally, when I read this thing, I'd like to see the fact that the $1 a ton is part of this document. Whether that will be able to be done, I don't know. But I want to kind of have it as rock solid that it is $1 a ton. And not only that, I spoke with Joe about this, but I think there should be an escalator clause in it. I mean, 30 years from now, they're gonna be giving us $1 a ton. Do you think that their tipping fees that they have the people coming in is gonna be still whatever it was 30 years ago? So I think there should be some kind of an escalator clause into that, but
So-
I digress.
So typically, before you guys take any action on any component of the project, more than likely including the agreement, but I'd have to go back and see the regulations to double check that, you would need a complete secret. So in order for you to get to those negotiations, you're gonna have to go through the environmental review.
And the permit is for a specific length of time, am I correct?
The permit that you're giving or the secret review that you're
The
doing?
permit that we give.
I don't remember if it has a time component, I'm sorry, I'd have to look back at your code.
That they would have, because I thought if there was a time component, that's the time we would do a renewal as far as the tipping fees and stuff like that, but I don't know.
I'm not sure, Phil.
Okay,
I can look into
well, that's just another question.
Next issue, it states in this document that the fill material encountered at all of the borings that they did were made up of medium to coarse gravel and sand. And I guess when I was reading this, my concern was, you know, they're gonna be putting up a tower, and it seems like the soils are quite soft, and therefore that issue is addressed.
I could give you some more information on that, but I don't wanna bore you with the details.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's funny, I didn't think of that. That's the old joke in the phone book, you look up borings and it says sea engineers.
Never heard that one. Sean?
It's an engineer joke.
Oh, my God.
It's a doozy.
Okay, that's what I had as far as comments myself. Anybody else want to give Sean any?
Well, I'll just do 2 seconds.
Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to just put on the record, I know I was very vague when I said that DRB had concerns, but if we just want to put on the record, they did have concerns about stormwater runoff, leachate collection, again, boring samples, talked about the IWS lease the property. I know there were trucks there. Are they tarped? Are they gonna have leachate? Also code enforcement, fencing, not fencing, and also fire protection for the personnel. You know, God forbid there would be, oh, nope, yep, I'm sorry, that was the storage, battery storage. Nope, I'm done. Okay, thank you. Different topic. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
So just to go on the record from day one, I was adamant about they're gonna get 600 tons plus 70 tons of recyclables. And they tried to filter in all 670 tons of C&D or regular waste without addressing the recyclables. And I said, for the last couple of years, I'm gonna plant my feet and I'm not going to agree to the permit unless there's 70 tons of that allotted amount. And I don't know how much the DEC is gonna allow them. They may even allow them less than the 70 tons, but I doubt it, because that's what they gave them before. So I just wanna go on record to make sure that that's where we stand.
Okay, so now we get the report from Sean, and we really must act then by October 24th.
And you should also get any written comments from the ERB, and Neil's here tonight, and we spoke,
Right.
he's aware of that.
So, as you say, we have 30 days, but on the 24th, we could potentially act that it still is incomplete.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So I think there's 3 possible actions that you can take at that time. The first would be that it's adequate, complete, and then at that point you schedule a public hearing on the document that you've received. You could determine that it's inadequate, and it may need to go back, and they need to make further revisions, and then we kind of restart this process again. The other item, which is kind of a hybrid, is you could make a conditional determination that if you add these items, then, you know, it would be considered complete. Planning board does that often, because it does kind of move the process along a little bit. But that would be your decision based on the comments you received from ERB, based on your own personal comments, and my comments as well.
Okay.
Okay? Everybody good?
Good.
Okay, number 2. This is review and approve request for Orange County Soil and Water Conservation District to waive fees for permits needed for this project. So essentially, what we have is a letter from those folks, signed by the gentleman who's the chair.
Some,
Looking for his name.
Kevin Sumner?
Oh, yeah,
Sumner.
right, okay. So, what I've been told, and I think most of you people have been told the same thing, is it's kind of a quasi-governmental agency. The town assists with the funding of this project, and in the past, we have basically not charged the Soil and Water District. So the recommendation is that we waive the fees.
Correct, I'm gonna piggyback off that, George, if you don't mind. Just waiving the fees for this project only, you know, precedential thing, that was always in my head when I think of those things. It was mentioned to require an escrow to cover any professional review and inspection costs. I believe that came, that recommendation came from our engineer. And condition the waiver on a written no blasting confirmation, or if blasting is later proposed, that it be in compliance with any blasting permits and subsequent laws related to that, submission of an owner's endorsement or a right of entry easements acceptable to my review, which hasn't come yet. I don't think that's gonna be an issue. Either they're gonna allow them on, or if they're already allowed on, so nonetheless. And then any completion of any necessary permits, clearing, grading, and things of that nature. So for context, from the precedential end, I believe, and I think Mary had noted that we had previously done this with the quarry project. It's consistent with that approach. It would be, the motion would contain a non-precedential clause in it, so it's very clear that this is project specific, not something where we're creating, anybody who comes to us is gonna get a waiver. These are specific types of projects, and the quarry project is pretty close in nature to it, but I think that's at least my thoughts. I don't know if you have any in addition to that, non-legal.
Whatever's non-legal, whatever the board wants to do. If you have any questions or you want some background from me, just let me know.
yeah.
So we have a resolution then based on, you had a number of contingencies.
Yeah, I mean, so, and by way of motion, I could, they're in there. I don't know the escrow amount yet, but we could just make that a condition. So I'm happy to read into the record a motion that you guys can make to essentially waive the permits conditioned upon the subject matter I've stated.
Yeah.
All right, so.
Go ahead.
All right, you got it. Looking for a motion for the Walk Hill Flood Mitigation Project, Celery Avenue, rock ledge removal, sponsored by Orange County Soil and Water Conservation District. Town board hereby waives town administrative and permit fees applicable to town permits for this project only, conditioned on applicant funding and professional services escrow, an amount set by the building department or town engineer to cover all technical review and inspection costs. Mary, I'll just forward the motion to you. Applicant's written confirmation that no blasting will occur within town of Goshen, or if blasting is later proposed, compliant with chapter 58A and all required blasting permits. Submission of acceptable owner's endorsements or other legal access easement documentation approved by the town attorney, and submission of all items required to complete the floodplain development permit and applicable clearing and grading approvals. Waiver is project specific and non-precedential. It applies only to town fees. Does not waive any escrow, consultant, or other agency fees. Can I get a motion?
Before we make the motion, maybe we can talk about this for a moment.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Okay, maybe Sean. So, 10 years ago, I was on the Soil and Water Committee with Sumner and all the farmers when I was in the legislature. That was one of the committees that I was on. They had received a $2 million grant in order to do this work 10 years ago. And there were concerns about what would happen if you did the rock ledge, what the Corps of Engineers, they were involved, weren't sure as to what was gonna happen down below in the Goshen Port with the landfills and all the streams. Have they presented any kind of plan to anybody? Because I have to tell you, they're nice people, but it was made up mostly of the local farmers and Sumner, and they would just shoot from the hip on things. We would talk about things and I'm like, whoa, there's gotta be protocol, we have to make motions. I was the one that just sort of kind of kept it all together, and I don't know how they came about, okay, we're gonna blast. And I mean, I know the site, I went to the dialysis, when I was a legislator, I walked the site, I was very involved. So, I know the Corps of Engineers should be involved, I don't know if they are. Have they presented any kind of plan, anything to the town, showing what's going to happen? I don't know.
Yes, they did make a plan submission, and the purpose of the plan submission was to have a discussion with Frank and I. It was almost like a pre-application meeting.
Okay,
And the purpose of the pre-application meeting is what town permits or approvals are required.
right,
So Frank and I reviewed it, and we said there may be 3 that we could think of. That was the blasting permit that we already talked about.
Right.
That was possibly clearing and grading permit, either from Frank or the planning board, depending on the volume and the area of material. And the last was a floodplain development permit. Whether
Okay.
you grant a waiver of fees or grant those permits, they still need to obtain all other permits that they do. So if an Army Corps determines that a permit is required from them, they would have to get that permit.
right.
If DEC determines that a permit's required, they would have to get that permit from DEC. So your permits would have really no bearing on those permits, as far as I know.
I have no problem with the permit, none. I just have a problem with what will happen, what's gonna happen when these ledges are exploded. I mean, has anybody said, well, this is what will happen, the volume of water of 70,000 gallons will increase and it'll raise, and the trees that are in there, which we clean out all the time, will be cleared away, and everything will be wonderful. Has anybody said that? The Corps of Engineers, has anybody told us what the result will be of this blasting? Because this is huge.
Yes, I agree with you.
So I'm just asking the question.
You're not greenlighting the project by waiving the fee. It's still,
No, I
yeah, I
understand.
just want,
I don't have a problem waiving the fee. Now I'm asking,
Yeah.
I'm just moving ahead. The next step, we waive the fees, they get all their permits. Does the town know where they're gonna be once the blast?
Yes, yeah, Phil, it is primarily the exact same project that they were trying to move forward in 2014, 2015.
Right, there were so many problems.
But as you know, the town's avenue, I think, is to discuss it with your legislators, and, perhaps ask the county to come in, to inform you as the board as well as the public that you represent. But right now, they're just looking for a waiver of the fee. But I can forward the board, if you'd like, I can forward the information they provided for Frank and I, when we had that initial
Yeah,
meeting.
I'm not sure if Sumner came here and made a presentation at that one time.
I don't recall. I remember George, you and I went to a
Because I was on the
meeting,
legislature.
I think down at Pine Island. And I know, the project supervisor had some concerns as well. But if you have those concerns, I recommend that you discuss them with,
I mean, once you ring the bell, once you blast this thing, it's over.
I
You
agree.
can't, and I remember that was the issue 10 years ago. Unfortunately,
No,
I can't remember what I had for breakfast, but I do remember what happened 10 years ago.
Those issues and possible controversies, I think, still exist because it's essentially the same project. I don't believe anything's changed hydraulically in that area.
No, are we gonna need a public hearing on this or anything like that?
On the waiver? No.
Not on the waiver, but on the project itself.
It
It's
depends.
negotiable.
Yeah, it depends. So a blasting permit, I don't believe would require a public hearing, but they're indicating that they no longer want to blast. They want to use mechanical and jackhammering. So no blasting is what they're
Okay.
looking at right now. Floodplain development permit does not require a public hearing. Grading permit may if it's over a certain threshold.
Right.
And I don't know if they've determined whether, I've given them the information in the code so they can make those initial determinations.
Right.
And they haven't gotten back. All we've received so far is the letter from last week requesting a waiver of the fees.
Okay, I mean, I'm ready to act on the waiver of the fees. I don't have a problem with that. It's just I have a problem with the project itself. so.
Yeah, I would
I don't even have a
recommend
project,
you-
as long as I understand what's going on.
Yeah, I recommend you start speaking to, people in the county that you know, about the project.
Okay. Thank you.
So since Phil brought it up, my mind is thinking along the line now, well, you're kind of giving them some credibility by
Right.
waiving the fees.
Yeah,
And
That's why I said, you're not greenlighting the project.
Well,
Just,
just
sorry,
let me
George,
finish.
go ahead.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a problem with waiving the fees at all.
Right.
But I don't want them to think in any way, shape, or form
Right.
that we're giving the okay for the go.
Well, I think
Saying they're
the
not
video
passing.
of this meeting will
Yeah.
make that pretty clear.
Well,
I think so.
These-
I'm not
these are good
mocking,
questions.
I just
I mean, how much-
seriously.
Yeah.
How much power does our board have in terms of deciding, not deciding, but
The
how much
project.
input do we have with respect to this project?
No,
That's interesting.
Unless they go outside of the conditions of the waiver, then it would come back on the waiver of the fee, but I don't know that that would stop the project. But
or we can show there's detrimental, something detrimental will happen
but
as a result of that.
I think you can only do that if you will politically, by talking to, county representatives. And I say none, and I don't mean to be flip or dismissive,
No.
I say none because the floodplain development permit is a ministerial action. If they meet the requirements, Frank's obligated to issue the permit, just as he is a building permit.
Right.
The grading permit, if it is required to go to the planning board, and that hasn't been determined yet, if it is, then there may be a public hearing, and you could express some comments during the public hearing, but there's no part of the permit that I foresee at this point that would come to this board.
Right, but they must have a plan as to what the result of the jackhammering or blasting will do.
Yeah, or else
And
they
the
would
Iron
do the
Company-
project, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it must have some
So
effect.
someone, I would imagine as a courtesy, would have sent it to the town, because we will be affected by it. We
He
will
sent,
be
he sent
impacted.
some preliminary drawings and I'll forward them out to this board, so you have them.
Yeah, I could probably find my 10-year ago drawings.
They're the
Like
same
you
ones.
say, yeah.
I'd save everything.
Right.
Okay.
so I guess I'm turning to you, Roy, at
Sure.
this point. Is it basically in your mind, okay, just to do the waivers, and then that's an issue, when we got that behind us?
Yeah.
And then we have the other issue, which may not come to pass because of other concerns that we have. Or, the second part of it is just say, okay, we're fine with the waivers, but show us the plan, go through it, make sure we have the plan and all that, then we'll give you the waiver.
Yeah, I suppose you could do that. I don't know I don't know how tangential the plans are to the concept of the waiver. That's in your purview, but in the past, or at least, I think the quarry project would, not that we're talking about precedent, but conceptually, you waive there, and whether you like the project or not is the
Right.
concept of I don't think you could do whatever you want.
No, I
You
know,
can say no
I'm
and
just-
to the motion, but I don't think that, I think that
In the state flux here.
it's kind of.
I wouldn't have,
Or,
I don't have a problem.
if you wanna hear from them, we could write back to them and say that you considered it, but you'd like a little presentation, so you better have a better understanding of the project. We can try to schedule them to come to one of your meetings.
That would be perfect.
That's fine, then table the motion. I mean, it was an attempt to do it with the conditions, right? That if this changes and all of a sudden blasting's in play, right? Well, then the waiver's reneged, right? And we have to go back. And if they can't show that they have the right to be on the property, then they can't go forward. But you can put in the condition, we wanna see the plans. I mean, you can put any condition in,
Yeah,
because you don't have to waive it, right? So if you don't have to waive it, then you wanna put every condition you want in there,
Yeah.
go for it.
we would just like to know what the project is,
So-
because this,
So table the
Or
motion, George.
updated, right.
This-
your point.
this is a huge ledge.
Do they have set plans for the
I
project?
don't know where it's
So
at.
they did.
They
They
do, it's the
must.
same plans from, I think, 2017 or
Yeah.
something like that.
And what it is this is a huge ledge, and the
Sure.
water is only 2 or 3 feet deep.
Yeah.
But the water does come from New Jersey, down the Wallkill.
It's a walk.
And it's, the volume of water when it rains is absolutely huge.
Yeah, I remember them coming here.
And these ledges
2017.
help
So they
break
just
it
wanna
all
make,
up.
they wanna make it deeper.
They wanna make it deeper, yeah, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden, you've got free flow,
Hmm.
so we don't know,
Sure.
so I just,
So I'd recommend you table the
It
motion.
kind of acts as like a buffer, you
Yes.
know?
So, yeah,
And
Exactly.
therefore now, they come in, they remove the buffer.
Right.
And then the water.
and now we got landfills
We got-
down below,
Yeah, we got a bigger problem.
and
so
they're
these are
moving
the same issues that was discussed
Yeah.
10 years ago.
10 years ago, but I
Right.
think they now, have probably grown exponentially as far as the risk factor, so.
Okay, so we're
So-
tabling it.
Anyway.
Okay, there you go.
That was easy.
Do you require anything
Sorry.
further
I was
from
just
me?
gonna say, do you wanna authorize somebody to prepare the letter to send to the county requesting a presentation?
I think the town clerk wants to write the letter.
I think the
I'll
town
write it.
engineer or the town
Town
attorney.
attorney will write it. Happy to.
All you have to do,
Yeah, just
all you have to do is go on Gemini. They'll do it.
ChatGPT.
AI,
ChatGPT.
Yeah,
chat,
I-
I can do
Still gotta fact check it,
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
you know?
I'll
yes.
have the engineer
Okay.
fact check. Okay.
Moving right along.
Sure.
So you're gonna do it, Lori?
Yes, I'm on it.
Can I have a motion authorizing the attorney to prepare the letter?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Good.
Good night, everybody.
Night,
Night,
John.
Sean.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Didn't expect to be here that long, did you?
No, I didn't actually.
Thank you.
Number 3 is review and discuss a 10% penalty on outstanding balances of $500 and above that will be re-levied on the town and county tax bill. We were discussing this at the last meeting, and I think we've discussed it at other times as well, that certain people don't pay their bills in a timely fashion, and at this particular point, I guess we don't have a penalty. So people, as you were saying at the last meeting, they think they can put it on their tax bill, and that is not really a legal thing, but they think they can do it. So anyway, we need cash flow, so therefore, that's the reason for doing this and getting a penalty on the water and sewer bills over $500.
So I-
So, need a motion?
I drafted a resolution, I think it, just to clarify, it seemed like more than a motion, so I just figured I'd write a
Good.
resolution.
Go for it.
This resolution reaffirming water rent penalty and billing procedures. Whereas chapter 93 of the Code of the Town of Goshen, Article 9, provides that a schedule of rates, penalties, and minimum charges shall be established by the town board. Whereas section 93-37 of said code provides that any water bill not paid within 30 days of the due date shall incur a 10% penalty, which should be added to the unpaid balance. And whereas the town board wishes to reaffirm this penalty schedule and establish clear administrative deadlines for billing, notice, and re-levy of unpaid accounts consistent with chapter 93 in the real property tax law. Now therefore be it resolved by the town board of the town of Goshen County, Orange State of New York, that 1, late payment penalty. All water rents not paid within 30 days of billing date shall be subject to a 10% penalty, which shall be added to the unpaid balance. I mean,
No, sorry, that's not what we wanna do, Lori.
you don't want to put it on the back end.
No, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
We just want a one-time 10% in October for balances over 500, not on.
Okay,
Before we pass it on to the county, right?
okay.
Right,
Right.
Give me the last 10% penalty in October. What was the last part? Yeah.
on balances over 500 that are gonna be levied on the taxes.
Not necessarily a bad idea, I mean, that's what.
No, it can't, yeah, because we can't put it on the,
That's what happens in the village. You get, you don't pay your bill in time, you get fined. On a quarterly basis. But,
We've never done that.
I know, but I'm not saying we should, I'm saying that
Get started.
what was Rory was inferring there was not a bad idea. Not for tonight, just for one,
Yeah.
just
The
for one.
idea of the
thought.
10% is you're really taking your neighbor's money. You know, you're borrowing from your neighbor because they're paying their bill, but you're not paying your bill. So it's really,
I,
you know,
yeah.
Mary, say that again, so I can, so all water rents not paid within,
all,
is there, go ahead.
Any balance, is it any balance?
any balances over $500 in November that are re-levied to the town and county tax bill will incur a 10% penalty.
Does that include sewer?
Yes,
Yes,
That wasn't.
water, sewer,
Okay.
yes, sorry. Mhm.
it's all one bill.
Okay. I'll just, I'll adjust it, to reflect the new late payment penalty clause that was stated on the record by Clerk Riso. can we get a motion to adopt the amended resolution, the language that I put in the whereas clauses, and now therefore be resolved, to reflect the language stated on the record by Clerk Riso.
Somebody like to make that motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, I would just like to say, that being that these bills are typically very high in the water districts, Hamiltonian Park, maybe Arcadia, like they're very high, bills, I think that we need to be very proactive in terms of notifying the public about this very early on.
Yes.
Perhaps wherever we can, whether we send a mailer out or we include it, obviously on the website, maybe even on our homepage, or every, we start including it in every bill that we get. Please note, maybe highlighted very boldly, please note that as of November, if you have a balance. Because that also might get people to pay it and not have to worry about the 10%. I just don't want us to be in a position where people say.
We did put a note in the last billing that this was a possibility.
Right.
We always remind people if your
Thank
balance
you.
is over 500,
Perfect.
to come in and we'll work with them.
Thank you. I just want so that people
No, we did.
are given plenty of time to prepare, put money aside for it, so.
Okay.
I need a roll call. Councilmember Gallo,
Aye.
Councilmember Floria,
Aye.
Councilmember Cantorino,
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Lyons.
Aye. Did you say supervisor?
Yeah, she did. She said supervisor.
Don't tell Joe.
Joe's not watching.
He's listening now.
He's
Probably
watching.
not.
You're gonna get a text message any minute.
Okay.
Did
so
he
we're
fire me?
done. Now we move on to number 4, which is introductory law number 8. And this local law is to protect the public health, groundwater, and farmland by prohibiting the land application of biosolids within the town of Goshen. And we have a procedure that we have to go through, so I'm turning it over to council.
Thanks. And just to note, this was presented, excuse me, in part, last meeting, identified as introductory law, local law number 7 by inadvertently. There were some amendments placed in, but I'm gonna walk through the procedure. So there's local law,
Local law 8, right?
yeah, local law number 8. Let me pull up my notes here. Okay. So, I think George, you're asking me to walk everybody through the SEAF, SEAF, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
the first part of it
All right,
is.
part 1, so I'm gonna give a summary.
Yeah.
So local law would prohibit the land application of biosolids or sewage sludge within the town of Goshen. Purpose is to protect groundwater, surface water, farmland, and public health. So townwide legislative action. There's no site-specific construction, no physical disturbance, and it simply establishes a land use prohibition. Under 6 NYCRR Part 617. This qualifies as an unlisted action, so the town board may use a short environmental assessment form. Prepared Part 1, which describes project, which I just read to you. The board now needs to review Part 2, which evaluates potential environmental impacts. I would like to walk the board through each one of the impact categories and get a determination from the board. I'll defer to y'all. I mean, we're not often the lead agency, as noted by Sean, and my time with you guys, I have not walked you through an SEAF. So do you prefer that I go number 1 down the dais, or do you want me to read these in and just do a what's been the procedure that you guys have utilized in the past?
Read it through, and then if we have questions, well.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, so, all right, fair. I just wanna, I don't wanna give a short shrift, but I just wanna make sure that I don't take 3 hours to do it also. So, impact category, impact on land. Determination, if there's any discussion or if the board has a comfort level on determination. As noted, it's just a legislative action, but does the board have any commentary as it relates to impact on the land? So termination would be, I mean, I don't wanna pre-check these for you guys, but the suggestion would be that it would be no or small impact may occur. Now, I don't know,
Right, so we're kind of obligated to say no or small impact if we're using the short form.
right, I just wanna make sure that, okay,
Yeah.
impact on geological features. I don't believe there are any, but if you guys see any, then, yeah. I know, I didn't get a chance to, that's why I talked to George beforehand, I mean,
They can't follow you, I'm just saying.
yeah, so, I don't know,
Okay,
no, when,
You wanna send it to me and I'll print it? Is
sure,
that-
I could, I'll send it to you right now.
This is the 4 pages that I just got from Mary.
No, it's your environmental short form, right?
Oh, the short- yeah, the
I'll
actual
just
total.
parse it out. Does everybody have a computer with them?
I do
No,
not.
No, not everybody?
I have
Okay.
my iPad.
All right, Mary, you
if you
wanna
send
go?
it to me, I can print it and give it to them.
You could, yeah, or
So,
send it
now,
to
do
me.
we have to move on this tonight?
To get to the public hearing stage, we'd have to issue a neg deck. So ideally, if you guys got 2 minutes for Mary to print it out, I mean, again, or it can be tabled. That's really up to you guys.
Well, if Mary can print out a copy.
Yeah.
She's printing out a copy of the short form?
Correct.
Right. It's, how many pages?
4?
3, maybe?
And I put in my own notes here, so. 18 items for review. I have it I've added in a Word document for myself,
Okay.
so.
Will it help them if we print it?
Right? I mean, I would imagine that would assist rather than me reading all of it into the record, so I think I just sent it.
Yeah.
So my apologies.
Let me see, there's no impact. Let me see.
But the first thing that we're supposed to do is declare ourselves as lead agency
That's right.
and have it as a neg deck. In order to do that,
You gotta complete the SEAF, and then you declare lead
we're gonna
agency,
review
then you declare.
the short form environmental form. And then if we choose to do that and accept that, then we go on to the local law itself.
We go to the local law, which you guys have in your possession. You then set it down for a motion for a public hearing, if that's, and then it would go out to the county and the planning board if they.
But on the application, they filled the application and said that it would be very little impact and so on. That was their assessment of that, right?
I'm
On
sorry.
the application, you started to read the application and indicated that there would be little or no major impact.
Well, that's you guys'
That's our
determination.
determination.
That's your determination.
Doesn't that, well, I have to see the application, because on the application, it usually asks the applicant, will this project do this? And they say yes or no.
We're the ones bringing the local law, so there's no,
When they
Who's
provided, you, on some applications, right?
yes,
They
but.
provide us
but-
with an application, when they fill out the application, they ask them, are you gonna do this, this, and this, and they check yes or no.
Correct.
So if they checked
Who's they?
the applicant,
There's no applicant.
We're the applicant.
We're the applicant. We're creating a local law, but because of this local law, the type of local law, even though it's an unlisted action, the type of local law it is, I believe that it requires a,
I see, I thought we had an application in front of us from these people.
No.
Maybe
No.
if you just.
Am I jumping
table this?
ahead?
that's fine. It's not, it's, the only concern about tabling it would be like anything,
Yeah.
it's, we wanna move on it because it's environmental in nature, but obviously we don't wanna do it wrong, but this is unique in the sense that this isn't brought by an applicant.
It's not.
No, it's brought by ourselves. We're essentially, we're raising the issue. It's a local law to,
Oh, I thought it was as a result of an applicant wanting to do this.
well, it's a result of making sure that the law is in place, so if an applicant attempts to do this, it's, yeah, so it's like, it's one step ahead.
I got this card about 3 miles down the road.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha,
Okay, I
gotcha.
got
You
it,
can send, I didn't get
Okay,
it.
I'm
Sorry.
trying
Oh, okay.
to interact, so.
okay, we're good.
With that being said, I mean, you guys are gonna look at the short form questions and make your own determination. If you want more time, then by all means, take it, but
Yeah,
otherwise.
Rory, I think the problem is that we really should have had this document before
Well-
us, so that we were able to
That's
look at it.
fair- that's a fair
digest it.
point.
So as far as I'm concerned, it should be tabled.
Okay, noted.
So we just have.
I don't, I mean, I'm not, there's nothing I'm gonna provide to you that is going to give you a background on whether or not the list of questions that's gonna be in front of you tonight,
Right.
or 2 weeks from now, you're gonna have the same information that you have right now. I'm not rushing you, I just wanna make it
Just giving
clear.
you
No,
my
I
opinion.
understand.
Everybody else can
Yeah,
have their own
yeah.
opinion.
Sure.
Right. I'm just.
I'm just clarifying, so there's not an expectation of all this abundance of information. You're gonna get a checklist of an
I
SEAF.
understand.
Okay,
I understand.
and then you guys can, okay.
Okay, so that
Well,
issue.
but that being said, while we're on the subject, have everybody got a chance to look at the law? We could still discuss the introductory local law.
Yeah.
Sure.
So while we're all here,
Yes,
I added a couple items in there. I didn't really take anything out. I just added like farmland, a couple more descriptive terms that are specific to the town of Goshen, per se, maybe as opposed to a city or something else, so.
and I guess the fine is by state regulation. I talked about it getting an increase, but I guess you.
Yeah,
About-
we're capped. We can never go more draconian than the
Did you
state.
print them, Mary? Did you already print these applications?
The,
No.
The
No.
SEAF?
no,
No.
no,
No.
no, I
have
don't
the law.
have that.
I have the
Yeah.
law, not the
Yeah, I don't have it for, he's gonna tweak it up and
Oh,
send it.
all
I mean, I'm just gonna send you guys a standard SEAF and
Okay, because the first thing said, the first question on there was, that would it have a large impact, blah, blah, blah.
right,
So
so.
we're saying no, and.
Well, walk
that's-
through it.
Yeah, so
You're not
that
gonna get any more,
concerns me.
you're not gonna get any more information than you have currently in your possession, outside of your own independent research, which you're obviously allowed to do, but I don't have anything to give you, because it isn't an applicant,
Okay,
you know, so it's somewhat unique in that sense,
I'm
so.
good.
Yeah, I just wanna, I'm making sure we're all on the same page, because I don't wanna
No.
delay it much more than I've
No, I
already delayed
understand,
it,
you
I
know what,
suppose.
I would, if I had it in front of me, I think.
That's fair,
Okay.
that would've been a lot easier, I agree.
Good.
So as to the local law and the language within the local law,
Oh, you don't have a copy?
No.
of the local law,
None of us.
We have the local
we're
law.
moved on from the SEAF.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Okay.
have the local law
I
everybody's got the local law.
Yeah.
and the resolution.
So.
just
I
was
think-
noting that every SEAF has the same questions, right?
So
I
can
think
we
what
pass
we,
the law
what we had
without
said at this
those
particular
No,
point is,
no.
we wanted to review the local law.
Right.
I wish.
I'm ready to
Alright.
go on this thing. Okay, all right.
Anyway, you have some commentary, so
No.
I can make notes on the,
No, I'm just saying, we were going to review the local law.
yeah,
That's what I
correct,
said. So
I'm ready to go. I've queued up, you tell me
One
what you
other
see.
question now, maybe, belabor this thing.
Go ahead.
If he reads the application to us, like he was going to.
We can just
start,
print it, you guys can have it in front of you, take 5 minutes, we're all here. And if you're still not comfortable, by all means, table it. But if you guys want,
Yeah, I think this thing should be passed as soon as possible. That's me.
I guess what I wanna clarify again, I don't know what else, other than the application printed out, which that's an oversight on my part.
Yeah, it's-
Other than that, I'm not sure what other information I would provide you that would lead you to make any other determination than you're gonna make right now.
right.
That being said, I understand if you wanna table it.
Well, I gave you my two, I gave the board my 2 cents, but, you know,
Okay,
if
let's
the
just
rest of
move
us wanna get a copy of this and do that tonight, the declaring lead agency and the acting of med deck,
I'm gonna print out
Yeah, it's
the
fine.
short
but
form,
Yeah,
You can
I
just put it out your
I'll do
own.
it that way.
yeah,
yeah.
They're all, they're not,
just give me a
they're
minute.
boilerplate.
Right?
I just like to have
Me too.
my stuff before me and review it beforehand. That's my take. Yep.
You know. So, yeah.
Well,
I,
that was
it's,
good.
it's mostly, I have not, I
Don't
mean,
know of any
it's
application.
rare that we, it's not rare that a law has an SES.
Well, while we're sitting here, I have a question
Yeah, go
about
for
the
it.
law.
Well, mayor's not here for minutes, so even though,
3 weeks ago,
Giants
you
play
picked
tonight.
up the ball.
I'm not,
Not that I wanna run home for that.
yeah, I'll keep you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, if it was the Jets, I was talking for hours.
Oh, please.
Yeah, well, it could be, but all I'm saying is I don't know of any
That was,
application.
yeah, right?
Oh, you just shut off, you don't watch the rest of it?
I'll watch it. I like the World Series. I'll watch that.
What else do we
Well, I
have?
can tell you this, I hate throwing on that.
Not much,
Oh, I do
after
too.
this,
I didn't realize that Don Mattingly was
like,
the coach. Did you know that?
Yeah, I think he's the bench coach.
Minutes?
We got the minutes and the finance and the privilege of the floor. So, we're pretty good.
I know. Excited for you.
Yeah? How we got you there?
I know, right? It's the best.
One of the,
Thank you, Mary.
when I first moved back, they were in, daycare, right? Bill?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Found it?
Aw, thank you. And Kylie, weren't they on the same one?
Yeah, they
Catholic
got it.
Charities?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You were Catholic Charities too? Look at this now.
Okay, so this basically is just a blank, and we're gonna fill in the blanks?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so,
We've already done part one, so
Right.
so
you let me know,
if you start with item number 1, or you just read that, right?
Yeah, do we wanna go over it?
we can go through the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then
so
we'll
we're
do
at,
the law.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so number 1, right? We're at number 1, is that it?
yeah, I gave the
Yeah.
project, I already described the project, but if that's already in the record.
Right?
Scripture, right. So does the proposed action only involve the legislative adoption of a plan, local law, ordinance, administrative rule, or regulation?
Yes.
Okay.
So just check off yes. Does the proposed action require a permit, approval, or funding from any other governmental agency? And I think the answer is no.
It will require a GML, but that's not a permit or approval, so I'd
Nothing
say
from
no.
the DEC?
Yeah, nothing. No.
No. So it's a no?
That's correct.
Okay.
Total acreage?
Townwide.
Okay.
Total physically disturbed, total acreage. Okay.
Any use of
So,
areas?
that's just the answer for all part of the A, B, and C, townwide?
Yeah,
Same
I
townwide, I would say.
don't have the acreage in front of me, but I think
Number
that would suffice.
4,
Townwide's fine.
check all land uses that occur on, adjoining, blah, 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 and that is
Essentially townwide or all zones.
townwide.
Yeah.
All zones?
Okay.
Good, yes.
Page 2. Is the proposed action a permitted use under the zoning regulations?
It's not applicable.
Right.
B is yes.
B, yes.
B is yes?
That's absolutely, well, Phil, you're best.
Yeah, consistent with the adopted comprehensive plan, yep. Number 6, is the proposed action consistent with the predominant character of the existing built or natural landscape? Seems like some of this is NA, right?
Yeah, and they don't give you that option there,
No.
so I would suggest it's a yes,
Yes. Okay.
more than it's a no.
Yeah.
Number 7, state listed a critical environmental area?
No.
No?
Not that I know of, I don't know it to be any critical environmental area,
Yeah.
so.
Will the proposed action result in a substantial increase in traffic? That's a no, right?
You know, A, B, and C are no's.
No.
A, B, and C, okay. No,
Number 9.
no, no. 9, does the proposed action meet or exceed the state energy code requirements?
It should be an NA, so I would say,
Okay,
I don't know exactly how to answer, because I don't know if no or yes means,
Yeah, why don't we just write NA next to it?
yeah.
number 10, will the proposed action connect to an existing public-private water supply?
No.
No. Will the proposed action connect to existing wastewater utilities? No. Does the site contain a structure that is listed on either the state or no? Number 13, does any portion of the site of the proposed action or lands adjoining to the proposed action contain wetlands or other water bodies regulated by federal, state, or local agency? Seems like an NA, right?
Yeah, a lot of it, because it reads similar to why Phil reacted the way he reacted. It's off an application, and where's the application land within the town?
Yeah. Identify the typical habitat types that occur on, check all that apply.
It's NA or all,
Right.
one or the other.
Yeah.
Put down NA,
Yeah,
does the site,
this is just a form, we can put NA in or whatever we want.
does the site of proposed action contain any species? That's a no, right?
Yeah, correct.
Is the project site located in the 100-year floodplain?
It's a no, because it's identifying a project site, so it's not, or NA, again.
Will that create stormwater discharge either from point? I guess that's a no, right? Well, stormwater discharges, that's a no. So,
Okay,
on to page 2.
yeah, we're almost there.
Page 3. Action include construction or other activities that result in the impoundment of water? No, right? No. Number 18? Rory?
I'm just reading it to
Okay.
myself. Proposed action include construction or other activities that result in the impound, no.
Was action adjoining property been in the location of an active?
It's, yes, it's asking for a site, so anytime it asks for a site,
Not
So-
applicable. is-
no, it's
right.
NA.
Yeah, just say no.
The site proposed action, so that's number 20 is an NA.
Mhm.
Then the signature, and we go on to part 2. Will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulations? If we're using the short form, I think most of these are gonna be no or small impact, right?
That's correct.
So that's number 1. Number 2, action result in change in the use of intensity or use of land? No. Proposed action impair the character or quality of an existing community? No. Proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that caused the establishment? No. Will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affecting? No. Will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonably available energy? No. Number 7, will the proposed action impact existing public-private water supplies? No. Same with wastewater. Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic? No. 9, will the proposed action result in an adverse change to natural resources? No. I guess actually in some cases it will improve it.
One would hope.
Yeah.
Number 4, page 4.
Okay.
Will the proposed action result in increase in the potential for erosion? No. Or small impact. Will the proposed action create a hazard or environmental resources to human health? No. Okay, so then now we have part 3, which is determination of significance. And do you have some language for us that we have to put in there, or what do we actually do with part 3?
Lead agencies responsible for
If
part
it's
3.
moderate to large impact may occur, that's only if we have to, I think we have to
You don't have part three.
We don't have a
to
part
do it.
three
Right.
with our
So
answers.
part
Right.
three
Is
is
moved.
NA.
NA, and we can
Got it.
now move
Okay,
to-
so then the bottom is check this box if you have determined based on the information announced above and any supporting documents that the proposed action may result in one or more potentially large or significant adverse impacts. No, right?
No.
Check the box if you have determined based on the information and analysis above and any supporting documentation that the proposed action will not result in anything. So that's what we're checking off. And then
Yes.
we sign it,
Yep.
date it,
Correct?
and
We go to next step,
Yep.
which is to declare lead agency and adopt a neg deck.
so we do that in two different ones?
I have a resolution that drafts it as one.
Yeah, that's fine.
So,
Go ahead.
Mary, I'll send this, but,
You sent it to me.
oh, I did, okay.
I
Where-
think I printed it out for
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, you want me to read it into the record? I think, probably should at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
All right, this is a resolution declaring lead agency and adopting a negative declaration as it relates to introductory local law number 8 of 2025 entitled Biosolid Land Application Prohibition Law of the Town of Goshen. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Goshen is considering adoption of introductory local law number 8 of 2025 entitled the Biosolid Land Application Prohibition Law of the Town of Goshen, which will prohibit the land application of biosolids within the town in order to protect public health, groundwater, surface water, agricultural soils, and the environment. And whereas the proposed local law constitutes an unlisted action under State Environmental Quality Review Act, codified as 6 NYCRR Part 617. And whereas the Town Board of Town of Goshen is the only involved agency with approval authority over this action, therefore serves as lead agency for the purpose of secret review. And whereas the Town Board has reviewed the text of the proposed local law and accompanying short environmental assessment form, and whereas the Town Board has determined that the proposed local law will not result in any significant adverse environmental impacts, but will instead provide environmental benefits by reducing the potential contamination of water resources, soil, and farmland, and by protecting public health and the environment. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Town Board of Town of Goshen hereby declares itself lead agency for secret review of introductory local law number 8 of 2025 and determines that the proposed local law constitutes an unlisted action under secret and adopts a negative declaration pursuant to 6 NYCRR section 617.7, finding that the adoption of introductory local law number 8 of 2025 will not have a significant adverse impact on the environment, and directs the town clerk to file and circulate a negative declaration in accordance with secret and retain a copy in the town official records, and authorizes scheduling a public hearing on introductory local law number 8 of 2025 on a separate motion at this meeting.
Okay.
Okay,
So-
so we need somebody to make that resolution.
So will someone move that the Town Board of Town of Goshen schedule a public hearing on introductory local law number 8 of 2025 entitled Biosolid Land Application Prohibition Law of the Town of Goshen for the November, what would that be,
Did
4th,
I write the
7th?
date, November, George? Did I write a date, November on your
Okay,
bill?
let me see here.
We'll go 30 out because we got a GML list.
November 9th?
No, we gotta go further,
Said,
I'm sorry, you're
the
right.
next public hearing, it says here,
6th.
October 23rd, but that's.
Or,
No, we gotta go to the
Or no, the
6th.
public hearing, if we need the 239, it would be December 11th.
November 6th?
December 11th.
We don't have a meeting in November?
Oh, yeah. I went
November
to
6th?
December, I know.
November
I'm
6th.
sorry, no, it would be November
November.
13th, the second, it was the
Okay.
second Thursday, correct? We're on the second
Yeah,
Thursday,
yeah.
November 13th would be the
November
second.
13th,
That'll give us enough time.
November
Okay.
13th is our meeting.
right.
So moved.
Okay, for the 13th day of the blah, 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 yeah, at
7
7:30, 7 PM, thanks, Bill.
So
So,
moved.
did we just pass two resolutions?
No,
No.
It was all one.
one.
we tabled a resolution before on the
No.
motion stuff in a different agenda
We
item.
need a motion on lead agency
Right,
and the
that's what I'm
next
saying.
deck.
Well,
Right.
the resolution included
Yeah,
that,
but they have to make the motion.
I got you, sorry.
Okay.
Motion
so
to
it's
adopt the
all-
resolution.
It's
Motion to
all
adopt
one
the
mo- It's
resolution.
all one
Mhm.
motion to have the declaring lead agency and the negative deck, plus setting the public hearing.
No.
No,
Public
I
hearing.
skipped the motion adopting the resolution,
So
sorry.
it's just this, okay.
Yeah.
So we need,
Okay.
who wants to make the motion?
I think so, then.
No,
I
adopting
made
the
motion
resolution.
For the public hearing. so
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
We'll
Okay.
first have to.
Rick,
Second?
Okay.
Rick and Alyssa.
Roll call?
Roll call. Councilmember Cantorino.
Aye.
Councilmember Florio.
Aye.
Councilmember Gallo.
Aye.
Jeez. Mary, you were so close.
Deputy Supervisor Lyons.
Lions, aye.
This is why I skipped
All right,
October.
so we got that, now Phil made a motion
Motion
to,
for the public
Motion on the
hearing?
floor.
I said.
okay,
Second.
great.
Setting the public hearing for.
November 13th.
November 13th.
And Mary, will you send the GML out? If you
Yes,
need
I
any
will.
assistance on it, let me know.
Yeah.
You good?
Need a roll
Okay.
call for that, Mary?
So we need a roll call.
The rest?
You're gonna type this up for me, like fill it in? and
Yeah,
send it to
yeah,
me, 'cause
yep,
I
I'll
think
just
it
go
goes
through.
with the GML.
Got it.
Mhm.
We need a roll call now.
Public hearing?
Yep.
Yep.
You just trying to.
Councilmember
Councilmember
Cantorino?
Gallo.
Aye.
Councilmember Florio? Councilwoman Gallo?
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Lyons?
Aye.
Okay,
Okay.
gotcha.
We're gonna get-
You got it.
Yeah, this is,
Gotta get Mary's back. That's what-
Joe's gonna be like, see, you guys need me there.
Yeah,
It's not
Okay, so, number 4 is done, I guess, right?
That's correct, for now, yep.
So now we are on to number 5, which is review and approve the September 25th minutes. Motion to accept.
So moved.
Second?
Second. Any additions or deletions? Not any? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. So now we are on to finance, and we have a bundle of finance stuff here. The first thing is discuss and approve a motion to authorize the supervisor to pay accounts payable check run of October 9th, 2025 in the amount of $333,926.75. Need a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Discuss and approve budget transfers dating October 9th, 2025. Need a motion?
So moved?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? No. Okay, and last is for information. Budget Officer Jennifer Blazon submitted an AP review for October 9th, 2025, which is included in your document here. And that ends the finance section, and now we move to privilege of the fall.
Legends of the Fall.
It's a great movie.
Thank you very much. Neil Howard. I wanted to sort of talk about the Orange County Soil and Water thing there. Phil was on the legislature. I was the floodplain administrator at the time. If you recall, that was probably right after we had Irene and Lee, where we had a lot of flooding on Celery Avenue and response to that.
Yep.
And they did, the Soil and Water Conservation ended up doing some ledges upstream of there for a while back. And then they came down to wanting to do by us, and we were being threatened by lawsuits. We already had some lawsuits from Irene Lee, and we were being threatened that if we allowed to let them take the ledges out, we would get in trouble. So we, at that point in time, were not issuing any building permits for that work by the floodplain administrator, is who would have to do it. And so consequently, that prevented them from coming from our side of the river. Obviously, the Walker River is between at least 2 or 3 municipalities.
Yes.
At that point in time, they were proposing to come in from the other side of the river.
Right.
In which case it required no permit from us, and that's the last time it stood there. The big threat is that the neighbors are gonna have a lawsuit about it. We certainly see that already. What are the other consequences of possibly taking this, dropping the water level down? And it was from, I know, Doug used to refer to him as the doctor of riverology, which I don't think exists, but anyhow, the gentleman from FEMA who was there,
Yes.
did come down and said that for every foot you drop the water, it's gonna take the bank back 3 feet on each side.
Right.
So if you drop the water level 2 feet as a result of this, you'll take the stream back or the banks back 6 feet.
Yep.
As we know, some of the banks upstream of this include our road, Celery Avenue.
That's right.
So consequently, Frank's gonna have to look at that when he does get there.
Yes.
And see if there are gonna be any consequences. Not related to this project, but other projects. I really think that they should pay their permit fees, not because it's the Orange, but because this project is being done on behalf of multiple municipalities, multiple, people who are gonna possibly benefit or think they're gonna benefit from it. And consequently, I think it should be borne by all those people, not just the people of Goshen. Back when the fire department was being built and the village issued permits, and even when the library was doing that and getting permits, they waived the fees for that, and I really thought that was wrong, because it put the burden on the village residents for all the administrative fees and the administrative costs. And it really should be borne, I think it should be borne by everybody who's part of that. If it's a fire district, everybody in the fire district should pay for that, because we're all gonna benefit by it. If it was in the library, it's the library district. That's just my personal thought, it has nothing to do with anything other than personal thought. Thank you. The community host fee for the IWS, I think you voted on that in November 14th of last year, 2024. If you look at the minutes, if you look at the video there, you certainly had the discussion there, and yes, the $1 was in there. And yes, Mary has that copy of that community host fee, because I know I got it.
Yeah, I got it too.
The interesting thing about that, though, is that Clarkstown in Rockland County in 2009 set a community host fee of $6.50 a ton. That was in 2009, and that was even against the Rockland County solid waste system. That was for the county issue, the county landfill there too, or transfer station, I forget which it was. But anyhow, that was $6.50 back in 2009.
Was that with IWS?
No, that was not. It was I can get you the exact name.
Yeah.
It was Rockland County, I think solid waste, whatever the name was. Okay,
We were looking at three, and the highest fee that we looked at, George went down and looked at some, was $1.25 host fee. And that's how come we landed on $1 at that time, I'm talking about 2006 or 7.
Yeah,
I don't
back then-
remember any
Yep.
at $6.50, but, you know,
Mhm.
you say so.
The only other comment I had is, it was nice having Melissa Gallo at the ERB the other night, last night. We are supposed to have a town board member on our board, and so it was a pleasure having her there. Thank you very much.
Brought back memories.
Yes.
She's not
Anyone
coming
else?
back.
Never.
Yeah, so-
Anyone else for public comment? Well, thank you very much for coming out, and I need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Aye.
Have a good evening.